Hey Void, how you doing? So, it's been a couple days since my October binge has ended, so we did pretty good, huh? Alright, so taking a bit of a more measured pace, kind of closer to back to what I was used to going forward. So, how's the Void doing? Still with me? As we're now happily entering year 3 of talking to the Void, because no one else is listening. Well, so first, I'm gonna do a little bit of a wrap up on the October. I watched a lot of movies. So, final count: 48 movies. I watched 48 movies this October. 12 of those were in my 24-hour binge. So, it's a lot of movies. Now, I was debating whether to bring up the top 10 and bottom 10, or because usually I did 5, but I think just 5 again is all that I really need to do. I might touch a little bit on a little bit of some of the ones that were also really good. Because most of these were pretty enjoyable one way or another. There's only a handful that actually were on the bottom of the barrel. And we'll start with those first, huh? So, the bottom 5 of the month. Number 5 was actually the last one I watched that month. Evil Tunes. If you're selling me on a premise and don't deliver on the premise, that's a problem. I was down to clown with Evil Tunes. The movie did have a few funny moments, which kept it from falling further, and I did like the cast. But there were some issues. Now, Cartoon Dog just wasn't doing it for me. Now, but it was still kind of an entertaining ride for the characters. Number 4, Bloodbath at the House of Death. Bloodbath at the House of Death. Now, that one. Sorry, Void. I have to spook the cat away from doing things she wasn't supposed to. Alright. Now. Number 4, Bloodbath at the House of Death. Horror comedy, spoof, that was not very funny. In fact, was boring and utterly nonsensical. So, definitely down here. Number 3, Slave Girls from Beyond Infinity. You go in for the title and you get it, but mostly you just get the most dangerous game with bikini-clad ladies. The Slave Girls part doesn't play into anything, and the Beyond Infinity is just in space. So it's the most dangerous game in space with lasers and androids. And despite all that, it's very boring. Number 2, a short one, The Demons of Dorothy. This one had some interesting bits to it, but it was ugly. It was not pleasant to look at, and was just kind of, I don't know, something about it just rubbed me the wrong way. Now, I watched a lot of LGBT things this month, and I usually rate them very highly. This one, for some reason, just wasn't hitting for me. So, no offense to Demons of Dorothy, but this one was not my thing. And the number 1 worst movie of the month, All Hallows Eve 2. This was just bad. I love anthologies, but when all the stories pretty much fell flat, except for the last one, but had no subtitles, and the second to last one, which I don't even remember what it was at this point, but I remember that one actually held some water for me. The rest of them just were not good, and the wraparound was terrible. No bueno. Alright. Best. Now, I will say there was a lot of really good ones this month. So this was actually hard to do. Some of these I may have rated higher or lower, and just so some of them I may have rated higher, but these are the ones I liked more. So take that as you will. Now the runners up that I wanted to put up there that didn't quite make it were like Barbarian, very close. This would have been like number 6. Fear Street Part 3, I really did enjoy. Characters and story were great, but there were just a few that were better. And Raw, which came in as the only recommendation I got over my 24-hour binge. And I like a good twisted coming of age period, the movie, and this one does it. I don't know what this is about Canada doing those very good, but I think that French Canadian, I think, doing those very good. But anyway, because Ginger Snaps is also Canadian, I really like that one. Anyway. So, number 5, Last Night in Soho. Stylish as fuck, and it just drew me right in. Really didn't like that. Number 4, Deadstream. This one hit the sweet spot for me for horror comedy, of being funny and just actually a little scary. And the acting was fun despite being very low budget. Number 3, Glorious. Do I need to say more? J.K. Simmons and giving the best elder god performance of his life from a bathroom stall. Don't sleep on this one. Number 2, Interview with the Vampire. The Vampire Chronicles. Now, I give a very short review on this one just because I was falling asleep and just wanted to go to bed because it was the last movie on my 24-hour binge. That said, production design, amazing. The acting was top-notch. Lestat is a fun character. And just seeing the really young actress is just giving it her all. Beautiful. Very well done. And the one that hit me best was The Perfection. Now, I didn't go into spoilers there, and I'm still not going into spoilers here, but don't let the trailer fool you in that it's a weird disease-based thing. It is not going there, but that's a small part of it. There's a lot more going on, and it's a sweet yet twisted love story also, and I'm always a fan of that. But, yeah, that caught me by surprise, and I really enjoyed it. Okay, so I actually have a movie to review here also, so let's get down to it. I'm probably actually not going to spend too much time on it because it's a giallo. Now, every time I review a giallo, I say the same thing. I don't usually care for giallos. And this one was a better one, but still not clicking for me. I know then I like Argento usually, but I didn't give a very good review to Inferno. This is another one I don't know if I can give a very good review to, though I respect what it's trying to do. I just had too many questions, and maybe it would have been better if I had seen the full uncut version, because a version that's usually available in America for this one is about 20 minutes shorter than it should be. And that is Deep Red, or Profondo Rosso. Now, Deep Red follows a pianist who starts investigating a murder of a psychic who lived near him, and, well, bodies start turning up. Essentially, the very beginning of the film shows a psychic doing this kind of a reading thing, and then says that there's someone very dangerous here, and I know who it is, and so, well, the killer turns up and kills her. So, this movie, it's okay, but the gore effects are great, and the acting, for the most part, is very well done. Particularly, like, for the drunk guy. But I just couldn't get why this pianist was so invested in investigating it. Yeah, she lived below him, and he was the one who found her, but suddenly he's a detective now? And because he swear he saw a painting that someone moved? And then he's then running around breaking into places and doing a whole bunch of property damage to find this out and making weird logic leaps. Like, Psychic, who last reading talked about like a haunted house, so he's going to find this house, how that's tied in, and then starts getting at a mural from behind the wall, which leads him to a school of someone else who drew that. This movie's weird. And I'm just gonna start tearing out the wall, or I'm gonna start ripping a hole and accidentally burn down the building. Okay, someone else actually set the building on fire, but really, this is why are you so invested, dude? Not to mention the sexism on this guy is kind of hard to look past. It has some frustrating scenes there, so it makes him hard to get behind and root for. Well, the twist I didn't see coming. I knew there was going to be one. I just guessed the wrong part. It's got a decent atmosphere, but when I spent trying to figure out why the main character was doing what he was doing and so invested, it just wasn't clicking. So, Deep Red came out in 1975. Maybe I would have liked it better if I saw the full version, like I said. American versions, for some reason, I mean, this was dubbed, but I was actually say the dubbing was not bad. But 20 minutes were only shown pretty much overseas. And, well, it's very difficult to find that version here. And this was me just doing Shudder Track again, so I'm back on that. So I went right back to where I was on the list, and Deep Red was my next movie. Now, apparently that has a lot more of like a romantic subplot and a lot more humor, so a lot of those things maybe you could have saved this for me. But right now, 4 MacGuffins is the best I can do for Deep Red. It was just okay. Well, guess that wraps up this. So, highly recommend all the ones that I just listed off for my top 5. Now, normally I will, the bottom 5 these ones were even hard to watch in a bad movie kind of way. I mean, you might be able to get some chuckles out of Evil Tombs or Bloodbath, but skip on the other ones. I think that's about it for this time. I did watch another movie today, so I'll be back in just a couple minutes with one more, and this one's a personal favorite. See you soon.